I'm Mark Visser, aka Sparkuus, and I live in Japan. My little girl and I are going to Fukuoka for her modeling class today, and because she loves to ride it, we're taking the train! First I'm going to take Lily over to her modeling class, and then I'm going to go around to some stores. We'll see what we can find. You put it in, and we're through. It smells wonderful in here. There's going to be a bakery or two. I know there's a Mr. Donuts, but that smells better than just donuts. I don't know what I'm smelling, but it's wonderful. Very large crosswalk. And we end up in front of Tenjin Core. Not bad. The building next door has a bookstore with lots of English books. I like that. And then also the building behind it has a bookstore with lots of English books. So I like coming here. It's nice to browse, although I am finding it is even nicer to use Amazon.co.jp because shipping is now free and often the books are a little bit cheaper. This episode was not brought to you by Amazon, I'm just mentioning it. We got a Best Dinky here, all the way up there. It's electronics and home goods, TVs, blenders, washing machines, whatnot, cell phones kind of store. And usually they're just a big old store, wide footprint, but you don't have the room for that here in the middle of town. So this thing's like, 10 floors tall, 11, I don't know, rather tall. We're going here, this building here, which at the moment the name escapes me, but I love it's got a garden going up the building in steps. There is a pretty nice park here. A few months ago when we came, and there was a stage set up and all these people wearing anime costumes, doing cosplay, costume play. And it's the first time I've ever seen a cosplay event. I've always, wanted to go see one. I don't know really where they're held. I mean, everyone thinks of Tokyo as the big place for that kind of stuff, and it is. But there are those kind of events all over Japan. So there were people here dressed up and singing, and some of them are really bad. But there are also a group of people doing juggling and whatnot, and we joined in with them and just played around and had fun. It was a great time. I love this building. It is just covered in trees going all the way up on both sides of the entrance here. It's called Across Fukuoka. It's not that I just suddenly remembered, but I saw a sign. So, I mean, this is the kind of thing I would like to see every building in a major city do. Have as much green space as possible on its roof. It's going to cool the building. It's going to clean the air. It's just a good thing all around. But this is the only one I've seen in Fukuoka, and it's done very well. I'd love to take a walk up through that garden sometime. I don't know if I can or not. There are stairs I can see going all the way up, but I don't know if you can walk it or not. Maybe someday. I'll check it out. Ooh, maybe I'll check it out while Lily's in her class. She's busy chasing pigeons right now. The birds of Fukuoka. Yeah. The crow says bugger off, pigeons. And we're inside Across now, and there's this huge old space above us. Inside the Across building, I found what looks like some people's design projects, and I found this. This is a funky looking bicycle. I think it's for like BMX trick style stuff, because there's no seat. But this is a pretty sweet looking bike if you're into that kind of stuff. If I tried, I'd just break my legs. Both of them. Probably a few fingers too. One of the things I just found inside Across there is the Fukuoka Symphony Hall. There's a concert today from 2 to 4, which, Lily finishes her class at 4. It'd be perfect timing. It's only 1,000 yen. It's pretty tempting. I almost want to go and watch it, but there's a few things I wanted to do, go shopping, a few stores I want to go to. So I guess I'll be skipping that, unfortunately. First, off to a baking goods store. Check that. First thing we're doing is climbing the stairs. There are stairs. They are open. They are public. So I'm going to walk up across. Just one of those things you got to do, I guess. How often do you walk up a garden on top of a building in a big city in Japan? Well, I guess if you live near here, anytime you want to. Only about a third of the way up, and it looks like you got a little stage kind of area here. Seats, performing area, totally empty. I wonder if anyone actually ever uses it. Okay, I've made it to the top deck. And, God, I am out of shape. I've only got myself to blame for that. Oh, yeah. But the view is quite nice. It was well worth it. So we scan around and see Fukuoka from, I don't know how many floors up we are. Mountains in the distance. Hakata Bay, the sea over that way. Couple islands. I gotta exercise more. Looking down on the roof here, the garden is quite nice. Look at all these trees and the flowers and plants. I mean, this is not an easy thing. They've got to have that roof so well sealed because a root will find any little crack and work its way in and just break it wide open. You'll have water dripping down on everything, on the symphony hall and all your practice rooms and all the stores down there. I mean, this has to have been done up really nicely. So if you're in the Fukuoka area, this viewing deck is open from 10 to 4. The walk is a bit strenuous if you're out of shape like me, but the view is quite nice. I've never had an outdoor view of Fukuoka quite like this. If I'd known this was here, I'd have come up long ago, I think. But some poor bugger's got to haul his way up here and lock and unlock it every day. Security guard up here, I'm sure he just does regular checks, not constantly, but this is quite the walk. I mean, he's got to be in good shape. I'm not. Okay, down we go. On to the next place, the baking store. If I can make it. Again, I lie. I'm hitting a bookstore before the baking goods store. English books on the 4th floor, so I gotta go up. So this 4th-floor bookstore, Junkudo, in Media Mall Tenjin. I almost can't recommend it anymore. I mean, I love going to a bookstore. I love being able to actually look at the books. As much as I like using Amazon, I love to be able to have the books right in front of me. The only problem is I read a lot of science fiction and fantasy, and the science fiction fantasy section in there has shrunk to one little thin section of a shelf for science fiction and one little thin section of a shelf for fantasy. So it's kind of disheartening, really. I guess I'll pop into Maruzen too. You know, gotta hit them both. They're only a couple hundred meters apart. And then I'll go to the baking goods store. So much for Maruzen. It's closed down and moving over to the new Hakata City building, which is being built over by Hakata Station because the new Shinkansen line is going to be open for business this year. Next month, actually, I think. They're moving, and I'm down to one bookstore I get to easily when I come to Tenjin. It's several degrees warmer down here than it was up on top of the Across building, which is hardly surprising because there was a lot of wind blowing up there. A few meters farther down, it's even warmer because under where I'm walking and under that main street, well, it's a big shopping mall down there. There are thousands of people below my feet and below those cars right now, going through all kinds of stores. Again, too many fashion stores. I guess it saves a lot of space up here. Plus, in the wintertime, it lets you walk around between these buildings without getting too cold. I guess technically it might still be winter here because it's still in February, but it's not cold enough that I actually want to go down there. I'm sweating already walking around, so I don't want to go down to where it's warmer. Huge malls all over. Iwataya, Solari Plaza got stuff here. This is, I don't know what that building's called. But you got a big old TV over on that wall. The speaker is over there. Not really sure why. That's Iwataya. That's also Iwataya. Iwataya is rather big. Lots of overpriced designer goods. I have been shopping in there and bought something in there exactly once, and that was a present for Kumiko. I may never go in there again unless I need another present for Kumiko. Here's another place where they go up. It's a movie theater with not a lot of floor space. So it says Toho Cinemas on the 3rd, 5th, and 7th floor. If you can't build out, you gotta build up. I've been there a couple times. Not a bad theater. You'll often see people giving out things in the streets here. In this case, it was tissues. I think it's a really good idea. You give out a package of tissues, it's got the advertisement printed on it, so people get a useful thing in return for looking at your advertisement. Good idea. The ever-present and all-powerful Starbucks, which is across from this Abercrombie & Fitch store. And the smell of cologne just pouring out of the door is just too much. I did see I guess he was a sales clerk standing in the doorway last time I walked by it, and he had jeans riding real low, 6-packs, abs standing out. I mean, it's like, are they selling clothes or are they selling the guys? Yeah, he's got a 6-pack, I got a whole keg. Adidas store? When have brands, like sports brands, become so big that they can warrant their own store? I just passed some kind of diamond store over there, another diamond store over here. Here's another jewelry store over here. There's another jewelry store over there. I guess people in Fukuoka just do not have enough crystallized carbon on their hands, on their watches, in their ears. Diamonds are artificially inflated in value. If it wasn't for De Beers cornering the market and artificially inflating the price, diamonds would be a lot cheaper. And maybe I could afford to buy Kumiko that pink diamond she wants. And we have an Apple store here too. Maybe if I go in and tell them I'm using their iPod to make videos, they can sponsor them. Probably not. I think I'll go in. I've never been into an Apple store. And then I'll go to the baking goods store. I'll get there eventually. Well, I'm not buying anything, but busy place. There's got to be like 20 people working in there. Apple is quite the success story, yeah? iPods everywhere. This is the coolest little spot. You walk up this little garden to this area back here, which has a couple restaurants and the best store you're going to find in Fukuoka or anywhere in the area if you want to do any kind of baking. So if you live in the Fukuoka area or are going to live in the Fukuoka area, you've got to come here. It's called Kuoka, I think, and it's got all of the tools and ingredients you will need to do baking that you just can't find anywhere else, or you find other places in way too small quantities for way too much money. I'm here to get coconut because my wife has been making a lot of impossible pies lately and she ran out of coconut already. It's only my 3rd time here, but I plan to come back here just about every time I come to Fukuoka. kinds of lovely tins and forms and stuff you need for not just everything. Decorating, cookie cutters, pastry knives, whatnot. Just everything you need. Trust me, come. Everyone's wondering why I'm talking to myself. I found my coconut. Oh, it's cheap. I'm gonna get 2. Mission accomplished. Okay, got my coconut. This is good. Means I get more Impossible Pie. There's also a restaurant, furniture store, nail salon, whatnot down here. This is a really cool little cubbyhole market. Its own little market village kind of feeling inside the middle of Fukuoka. If you're coming to Fukuoka, gonna live here, if you do live here already, I absolutely recommend coming down here. You'll have to figure out how to get here because I don't have a map. Actually, Fukuoka now might have a map on how to get here. It's worth the walk down from Tenjin. It's not that far. I got here in less than 10 minutes, down a little side street. I was lucky. A guy who already knew the place, a guy who I work with, actually, his fiance, knew the place and brought me down here. And now I can find it on my own. I'm happy. Unlike North America, here you are expected to bicycle on the sidewalk because the streets just aren't quite safe enough, I guess. And here we pass another shrine. They're all over the place. Can't swing a dead cat without hitting a shrine. In fact, you can probably find a dead cat shrine somewhere. Oh, here we go. Arigato. There we go. I got me some tissues from SoftBank. I'm not going to use their services, but I am going to use their tissues. Here comes an ambulance, and everyone's in the way. I hope whoever it is they're going to pick up is okay. I'm assuming they're going to pick up because a fire truck just went screaming down that way too. But I have never seen ambulances drive as slow as they drive here in Japan. It is just, if I ever need an ambulance, I'm going to get in the car and drive myself because I'll get to the hospital quicker. Don't know if you can read the sign there, but that's something I don't see very much in Japan, is a tattoo art studio. I don't know, I wouldn't be totally against getting a tattoo, but my wife really doesn't like the idea. Don't know exactly what's in this building, but I love the name. Fuxinglu Chinatown Variety. I may just have to go over there and check it out, just because of the name and because of the seahorses. Okay, it's 4 floors of Chinese restaurants. We have this covered arcade walkway between 2 big malls, Daimaru and... I don't know what this building is. Oh, Daimaru. Okay, between Daimaru and Daimaru, there is this, so I guess this is still by Daimaru. And they have some kind of event, some kind of campaign, some kind of promotion. I don't know what they're promoting. Don't really care. Just happened to spot this down a back street and thought I'd take a look. Here's a little shrine. Very well maintained, nice and orange. Little stony thingy there with something I can't read. Fuku something 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 something. Okay, and here's a very green river. Now, down there in the distance, you can see right about there, I think. It's hard to tell on the monitor, maybe over there. There are these boats. Those are party boats. It's kind of cool. You get your whole party, reserve a boat, get on the boat, and have a party. You know, eat your sushi, you drink your booze as you go down the river. Looks like a lot of fun. Never been on one, but I've seen them on TV. They look interesting. Although, a little bit nicer scenery would be nice. I can't believe I came to a game center and they have a pinball machine, an actual pinball machine. You never see these around here. So, I've got to play ones. Crap. Look, hang them down. This is so cool. An onigiri restaurant. A restaurant just for rice balls. What a concept. I never would have thought this would succeed, but they are just fantastic. I definitely recommend them to anyone in Tenjin. This looks wonderful. I got a beef curry rice ball and Lily got salmon. And the pigeons are coming in already. That is good. And we're on our way home. Thank you. Okay. So that ends our day in Tenjin, our afternoon in Tenjin, in and around Tenjin. I'm Mark Visser, aka Sparkuus. I hope to see you back here for another I Live in Japan very soon.